Well, I decided to try something a little different today, so I thought I would go with the Justin Bieber hair hat. All I need now is someone to grab my balls real tight so I can hit the high notes, and then I'll have my own singing career. What do you think? Very sexy, huh? So anyway, I have very little to add to what Adrian and Mike have already said about the Survivor Series. But we'll talk about Russell, who has been voted off. Russell with his scabby armpits. That is the worst case of infected barber's rash I have ever seen. What did he do? Shave his pits with a rusty machete? My goodness, here's a hint. Here's a tip. If you are going to go to an arid desert climate with a lack of water, so it's difficulty in keeping clean and so forth, here's a tip. If you have long hair that you want to keep, well, tie it back in a ponytail so that it doesn't trap all the dirt and bugs and stuff. Or, if you're a guy, buzz cut your head, shave your face, and the day before embarking on such an excursion, rub depilatory cream or hair remover cream all over your entire body, especially underarms and crotch, and go hairless. You'll find that in that state you can clean your entire body with less than a cup of water. However, here on Survivor, what do? They always put them beside the ocean or beside a river. And it's always in a warm climate. So they can, they can run in and get clean like 8 times a day. They don't have to worry about freezing to death, and they don't have to worry about drying. Just, run around on the beach in the sun or something for a few minutes, you'll be dry. So that's not even a concern. Especially if you're beside a running river. Now you've got a source of water, a source of food, and a way to keep clean. This is not really playing Survivor, is it? Because, these people are in no danger of dying. It's not a survivalist show. It's actually playing schoolyard games on a beach. So anyway, Russell with his scabby armpits, gone. Hairy guy, right? His man sweater, as they call it. Another one, of course, is the redneck guy. He's also got the man sweater and the beard and stuff going. Bad mistake. Anyway, so like I said, they're on a beach, so they're not really in danger of running out of water. Coming on to the game playing. Now, this is where I would lose out, because what are the 3 elements of playing a game? You've got to have speed, strength, stamina. Well, if I was playing this, I would never win any kind of immunity challenge because I don't have speed, because I run for nobody. I wouldn't even run out of a burning building. I mean, I would walk and do it properly. The second thing is the strength. Well, I guess, about average. I would certainly be outstripped by, people who are under 30 who, have running back experience or something like that. The place where I would win, I guess, would be in the stamina. Now, if you asked me to stand on a pole for 3 hours without moving, well, I'd just go into zombie mode and I'd ace that thing. I'd probably freak you out because I'd stand there for 24 hours. But yeah, so the stamina thing. But it would make for very boring television, wouldn't it? But I could certainly play the waiting game. Now, in terms of games, Adrian pointed out that a lot of the games are being reused from past series. Well, I didn't see those. So to me, all of this stuff is new. But even if they do, aren't all sports repetitive? I mean, look at football. You've got so many guys on this side, so many guys on this side. You've got a ball. One team wants to get it to one side, one team wants to get it to the other side. They do a scuffle thing, and after many, many hours, yay, you win. Hockey, a net at one end of the rink, net at the other end of the rink. Basketball, a hoop at one end, a hoop at the other end. All sports are pretty much the same. Golf, hit this tiny little ball into 18 holes and wear silly pants. Good God, I wish I had a gun and I could just shoot those people from the bluff. But anyway, that's beside the point. Even curling. Curling is a stupid idea. It's like having a dartboard painted on the ice and you throw these stones, as they call them, right? Slide those down the ice until they score or something. Bocce ball, same thing, summer version of curling. All sports are repetitive. Now, my own experience with sports here, this is why I'm not terribly interested in sports. As you know, I grew up in isolation, no other kids around or anything. I found myself in one situation. We went somewhere. It was a gang of kids, and they were playing this. Gotta get rid of this hair. God, that's so sexy. God, I love me. Yeah, so anyway, I went to this one place, and there was a group of kids, and they were playing baseball. I don't know how, but I got roped into it. And they explained that, one team picks this kid who's going to throw the ball to this other kid on the other team who has the bat. And that kid has to try to hit the ball. Well, I ended up being the kid with the bat. I'm only a small kid, and I was holding this giant bat thing. And the other kid from the other team comes along and he like whips the ball at me. And it like flies past me at like speed of light. I didn't even see it coming. And I said to him, you know, you got to throw it slower. I can't hit it if you're throwing it this fast. And the kid like whips it a second time. And it's just and gone. I mean, I didn't even have a chance. So I got kind of mad, you know. I said, you got to throw it slower. I can't hit it if you're going to throw it that fast and that hard. And, you know, and apart from that, you could probably hit me or something. So he does it a third time. And as I see him like pull back, I said, right, you know, so like I'm holding the bat thing and I just like swung. Well, it connected with the ball. And it sort of did like this perfect arc thing, right? Like it sailed up, went over the houses and came down in the road in the street on the other block. So the entire other team, including the guy who threw the ball, they just like take off and they run around the block to go get their ball. And my team, I thought, you know, they'd say, well, you know, great, we won or whatever. My team, they start yelling and jumping up and down and waving their arms around and shit. And they're all yelling at me and I don't know what's going on. And finally, one of the other kids, bigger kids, right? This big kid comes over, picks me up, carries me over to the first point on this square that they had marked out. Apparently, which I didn't know, nobody told me beforehand, I had to run to the first point on this square. And so, you know, he put me down and said, you stand here. And I said, well, and now what? You know, and all the other kids came back, of course, with the ball. And I was standing there. And he says, well, when the next kid hits the ball, then you have to run to that point over there. Okay, fine. So I was only a kid. My mind started to wander. And I mean, you know, I'm looking at neighborhood dogs, guy mowing his lawn, birds up in the trees. I mean, anything, right? And, you know, I hear like a bang, you know, or a knock. Kid hit the ball anyway. And everybody's yelling and screaming on both teams and waving their arms around and stuff. And I you know, I turn around just as this kid from my team runs like straight for me, stomps on the ground in front of me like this means something, and then takes off running over there. And my team is all looking at me and they're waving their arms and stuff, you know, and I'm wondering what the hell's going on. And finally, of course, you know, it dawns on me I'm supposed to run to that point over there. So I ran over to where the other kid was standing and I stomped on the plate, you know, and I stood there beside him. And the kid pushed me. And he says, you're supposed to go over there now. Like, I'm supposed to know instinctively or something, right? And anyway, long story short, that was the last baseball game that I played. I got carried to the first point on the square. And similar thing happened though in cricket. Now cricket is almost like identical game. One team chooses a guy who's going to throw the ball to the kid from the other team and he holds the bat. And I was standing there, I mean, you know, this kid comes on and this is like somebody throwing a billiard ball at you. This is a hard little ball. It's not like a baseball. This is a hard little ball. And he like whips this thing at me. He does this sort of like windmill over the head thing, right? And whips this thing at me. It comes at me at like speed of light. And I mean, I thought, you know, okay, I'm supposed to hit it. So I just like, you know, whacked the thing. And I didn't actually hit it. It just sort of like bounced. He threw it so hard, it didn't work in his favor. It hit the bat so hard that it sort of like bounced and went off. And I thought, aha. Now, from my baseball experience, I knew what to do. So I ran off to the first point on the square. And then I ran back. And then I ran out to the third, and I come back and, you know, I'm thinking, hey, you know, I've done it kind of thing. By this time I understood that this was a home run. But no. My whole team is like jumping up and down and waving their arms and stuff. What I didn't know is that in cricket, once you hit the ball, you're supposed to run back and forth on the same line between these two wickets, which is like the three stakes that are stuck in the ground, right? I didn't know. I thought I scored a home run in cricket, but anyway, so I don't play sports. If I was on Survivor now, okay, and they wanted me to do one of these things, as I say, on the strength, average, on the speed, below average, I don't run for nobody, but on the endurance, I would win. But they don't play endurance games. And they don't play too many mental games. It's sort of, you know, fit the peg in the hole or some such thing. So, that's the end of the game stuff. So, what have we learned today? I like my new Justin Bieber hat, my hair hat. I'm looking forward to a nice singing career. Russell, with his scabby armpits, needs to, I don't know, learn how to survive in a schoolyard, I guess. Redneck man still scares me. The waitress, what's her name? Stephanie? I forget what I wrote now on my list. The one that I favored to win. She will outlast all the other ones that I put on my list who are going to be voted off. She will outlast all of those. But she is such a bitch. I'm hoping that they put forward somebody that I can actually root for. Somebody that I like. As it stands now, I don't like any of them. I mean, I wouldn't give any of them $1 million. Except maybe the host of the program. Now, he's pretty good at explaining rules to a game. If he had been back, you know, when I was trying to play baseball or cricket or something, that would have been great because I would have understood his rules. But as I said, you can't just throw somebody into a game and expect them to guess what the outcome should be. So sports are repetitive there, Adrian. All sports are the same. I mean, you can look at a football game from today and a football game from 20 years ago, same damn game. They're probably even wearing the same clothes. Anyway, yeah, so if you're still watching this, write something interesting in the comments. Tell me if I should go back to being a beardy weirdy. You know, in different times in my life, let me see, I've been a hippie. I actually grew the mustache when I was on my 16th birthday. On my 16th birthday, I had a mustache. In my entire life, I've only been sort of, you know, clean shaven for less than 2 years, the last couple of years. And so, you know, having the clean shaven face is kind of weird to me. I've been a hippie, I've been a biker, I've been a lumberjack, and each time the beard and the hair and stuff just changes a little bit. Like I used to have like the ponytail and the medium beard, that was the hippie. Then it was like the big square beard and the shaved head, that was the biker. And then when I was the lumberjack, then it was sort of like, you know, shoulder length hair, occasionally ponytail because it's cleaner, and the beard, of course, that went down to my navel. So let me know in the comments below. Tell me, do you think, obviously the Justin Bieber hair is working, right? So we got to keep that. But do you think I should grow the beard back or continue to be the corporate lackey, clean-shaven, outstandingly gorgeous creature that I am? Let me know. Bye, folks.